Got the young lad out here at the garage. Mikey's out here working today. Gonna fix the carburetor on the 125. It's spewing gas. It's just leaking like crazy. So we got a bad needle in the seat. So he's gonna do himself a carburetor rebuild. He's already got it ripped off here. And he's gonna pull it apart. Picked up a kit from Fort 9. Motorcycle dirt bike supply place in Canada up here over in Quebec near Montreal. Real close, so only takes like 2 days to get stuff. Okay, so the first thing we got here, I don't have my glasses so I can't see, but we got 3 Phillips screws. I think they're Phillips. Yeah. Yank those suckers out carefully, don't strip them. Push down good and hard, right? It's not tight in the vise here, it's just holding it so you can work. Those are the most stripped screws on an entire bike anywhere. People go at them like they're, I don't know, they're anchoring down the Queen Mary to the dock here or something.
Okay, so when you get to this stage and you've pulled off the top of the, I guess you would call carb, the floats, where it shows the floats here, there's a little Phillips screw right here that you can undo. So we're just gonna quickly do that.
What we got going on over here? How dirty is that? A couple grains of sand in there, which is never a good sign. How bad's the bowl? This little tiny screw has to come out so that you can pull the seat. There you've got your needle and it sits in the seat. Okay? If either of those, and this is where our problem is here, because when you turn the gas on, it just keeps coming. There's one other possibility, is that your floats aren't floating anymore. If they get full of gas, sometimes these will get old and perforated and they'll get gas in there and they won't float and it won't shut your gas off. Okay, so what happens is, when this is upside down, gas comes in, these come up, that pushes that needle, which sits up here, into the seat and closes off the gas. And when the gas starts to go down, it opens it up. So it just kind of constantly does this and lets gas in and out. So it's basically just a valve. So when you're driving these things, the air goes through, and as the air passes, it creates negative pressure. It doesn't create a vacuum, it creates a negative pressure, which draws gas out of here, mixes it with air, puts it into the engine. Okay, so that should be a Phillips, I think. Which is that. Take that little tiny screw out. Again, another one that's stripped real bad often. So push down good and hard. There you go. Once you hear it snap, that means it's loose. Keep everything on your paper towel here. Not much sense cleaning the carb if you're going to put it on a dirty old workbench. So lay out a good clean surface. Okay, so now you need a nut driver, so a socket to fit that. This is a straight screwdriver. If you're doing dirt biking, get to know how to clean a carb. That's all I'm going to say. Now, I guess the older ones, nowadays it's all fuel injection. And 4-strokers. There you go, 6mm. So one of the leading causes of your bike bogging when you're driving is this thing here will get plugged up. You see how there's a little tiny hole in there? So now, your straight screwdriver, pull this out. See that one? Same thing here. You got a whole bunch of little holes in there. If even one of those is plugged, it doesn't idle worth a crap. This is your idle screw. Yay, dollar store. No cheaters. As I destroy them, my wife just buys me a bag full of them. There we go. I can see. I just sprayed penetrating oil all over them. Okay, next thing we're pulling out is the seat. It's just held in with a little rubber O-ring. And no matter how you seal the... You pinch your finger? No matter how you seal the float and adjust it, it'll never stop the gas from leaking because this little O-ring is gone. Just pull it up. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. There you go. Okay, so there's your seat, and you can see the O-ring I'm talking about. Okay, sometimes it's that O-ring is gone, and it'll look okay, but all it takes is for that to get old and dried up and gas will come right by that. What we're gonna do here now, he's gonna take this over to the parts cleaner and clean up that carburetor. Like he's just using the old parts washer here to get that carburetor cleaned up. And yeah, I gotta get some more workbenches built in here because I'm sick of working on the ground like this because I only have one little tiny bench right now. I didn't want to get a lot of benches built because I was still putting up the drywall. Now I got a few areas where I can actually get in and get that done. So, biggest thing is getting these things, old rust bucket off the lift, this one done, that one done, so I can get this finished. As you can tell, it's getting gold in here. Okay, there's your carb kit, and I don't know what's up with you California people, but apparently it's not legal for sale or use in California. California. See this rubber O-ring here? You're going to pull that off, and then you're going to pull this cap off, because there's an O-ring in there we want to change.
So part of that. Come on.
That's how much dirt I got off of your supposedly clean carburetor. Alright, got the drain off. See that O-ring, how flattened out it is? You need to rip that off and put that on, that round one. So, see that O-ring is completely flat. Get it? You're like this. Get it out with your fingers. Come on, get it out. Do I need to take over and get that little rubber thing off it? Jeez, don't stab yourself. You did too, didn't you? You stabbed yourself with a little tiny screwdriver. No, roll it all the way down. You gotta get it into that groove. So screw that back in. That's your drain, which when you store the bike for the winter, right, you unscrew that and get the gas out of it. Or you use a stable or something to stabilize your fuel for the off-season. Same as it did with the snowmobile for the summer. So this one is your overflow tube that connects to here. So if your gas gets way too high, it just starts pouring out of that tube there. Now sometimes those float bowl gaskets, if they've been in the shipping a long time, they'll get stretched straight out and they don't quite look like they're gonna fit. You just gotta put it in. If it's not staying in here, just put a little bit of lithium grease or Vaseline or something like that on there, and it'll, because it's sticky, and it'll hold it in place. We're gonna get our new needle and seat put in here, and which is the root of all our leaky problem. What I like to do here is put a little bit of oil around that rubber seal when you're putting it in. Okay, you got some oil on that, and slide her in the hole. Just push it out with your finger. Push it straight. All the way down. If you don't put the oil in, sometimes that rubber O-ring will try to roll and it'll tear. Little screw that held that in. Seat is screwed in. There's your new needle. Alright. That goes a little spring part. Okay. Goes on there. And it just hangs. Slide that in. What's going on? Get it in there already.
That. I don't know what you're talking about. I got it perfectly.
Yeah, perfectly. That's a strange word. Like that. Okay, now you gotta get the pin in that slot.
That's the wrong way.
Put the screw in that holds that. So when you see people tapping the screwdriver, it's because that needle, the floats are moving, but the needle is stuck. So if you tap it, it'll pop loose a lot of times. Brand new, look at that. I saved the old ones because you never know when you need one of these. So it comes with a new throttle stop, and I don't know why, because I've never, I guess maybe if you strip one, I've never seen anybody break one of those. New metering rod, ours is in perfect condition, and the bike didn't have a running problem, it had a leaking problem. So we're not gonna mess with that. Don't fix it if it ain't broken. Remember, any of these changes you do, you gotta turn around and readjust your idle speeds and throttle stops and that. We got a new jet. What size is that one? And just checking the jet size, that's a 350. Again, the bike never ran bad. It's just, can you see a number on that?
350.
Okay, so both of our jets are 350s. Well, we're gonna put the new one in. They don't ever fall out. Okay, put your little plastic hoo-ha in here. Yep, just like that. Okay, so as I said, a couple of little, just the tiniest little bit of grease in the corners. We'll keep that from falling out when you turn it over.
Wait, where did that piece just go?
It goes right there, just on this. See, that does not go into the plastic cup, it goes beside the cup like that. It's just, think of it like a straw. There's your seal for the top. Okay, so next you're going to get your carburetor. And you're going to put that right down into the top of your carburetor. Are we done yet? We're on an angle, so you get screwed from here. Woo! Okay, so that's good and loose. You want to make sure that's on the back of the carburetor and line up your exhaust here at the same time. Okay, there you go. Quick carb rebuild for 2001 YZ125. Young lad did 90% of the work. I had to show him a few things. Hasn't been run in over a month. Hit it. Get out of here.